We move on to play number 2 for you, KC. Monday Night Football, Rams and 49ers. Rams 4-point favorites, another line that has pretty much stuck exactly at the opening number on BetMGM all week. You like the Rams to bounce back. Let's hear why.
I do. I mean, the 49ers offense is getting a lot of grief for the club's 3-5 record and losses in 5 of the past 6 games. I mean, 49ers losing 5 out of 6. Who would have seen that coming? But a big part of the problem is their rush defense. They've given up 487 yards on the ground in the past 3 contests. 487. And this is a 49ers team that prides itself on being able to run the ball and stop the run. That's what their whole team's built around, and they've not been able to do that at all. San Francisco's offense goes as its ground game goes, and that's a problem against the Los Angeles rush defense that's allowed fewer than 70 rushing yards in 3 of the past 4 contests. The Rams have more firepower in their passing attack, and I'm not including OBJ in there. I'm not impressed that that's not yet. And I'm not even if he did play, I'm not impressed with the signing. He's too banged up. He's a later in the season approach. But Cooper Kupp's the best receiver in the NFL right now. Robert Woods, Bobby Trees is coming along very well. They've got a lot more firepower, and I just don't trust the San Francisco's firepower and offense is back to where it is. Eli Mitchell, for what he is as a back, I still think he's above replacement, but not that far above replacement. He's not what Raheem Mostert was, so they just don't have the firepower in their ground game, and their passing game is not what it was. Is not what it can be at its peak either, and it certainly can't keep up the Rams. So I like the Rams to cover in this one.
Yeah, I always want to find disagreement. I'm not going to contrive it. I'm not going to just make disagreement up out of thin air, but I want us to find it. Don't have it here either. Rams is another one that I'm picking in my pool where I pick every game. On the Friday episode of the Athletic Fantasy Football Podcast where we make 5 picks, I had the Rams -4 as one of my picks. This just feels like a really good bounce back spot for the Rams. And you look at last week, very fluky circumstances in which they ended up losing that game to the Titans. Basically, Matthew Stafford gifted the Titans 14 points right off the bat on back-to-back possessions. You had the pick 6 as the second one, and the first one was just as good as a pick 6, right? An interception that set the Titans up on the 1-yard line. So that's just 14 gift-wrapped points to the Titans, back-to-back possessions in the first quarter. The Rams really never had a shot from that point forward. That's just sort of how this sport works. When you get that deep of a hole that quickly, it's hard to dig yourself out of it, even when you are as good as the Rams are. So this just has the feeling of a bounce-back spot. And actually, I know we're not talking about that Titans-Saints game, but the flip side of that is that it concerns me for the Titans. It concerns me that that's how they beat the Rams, that they didn't really do much offensively in their first game without Derrick Henry, and now they're just 3-point favorites at home against a Saints team that still doesn't know if it's going to be Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian as its quarterback this week. So that has me concerned about the Titans, but that's a digression from what we're actually talking about here. I'm with you on the Rams bouncing back against the Niners.